Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Hey, remember, if you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. We always appreciate that. And if you really want to help us out and help support the channel, give us a little boost, I will leave links down below where you can donate to PayPal and Ko-fi.com. It's always appreciated. We rely on that, and it always helps us out. And we thank you, of course. And don't forget, if you want to purchase any of my books, there's a link down below where you can check all those out and buy one or more of them as well. And that always helps also. All right, so I never mind when people ask me for my opinion about things about Cambodia, or my advice, I guess you can say, if they want some advice. I don't mind that at all. I'll let you know exactly what my opinion is, or what my advice would be to you in different things. But the thing that I really like about Cambodia, and a lot of people will tell you the same thing, is that it's most of the things here, most of the things people have questions about, outside of visas, which is very kind of straightforward for everybody. But a lot of those things are really going to be so individually for you that I can give you my opinion, but it might not be the one that is right for each individual. This is not a one-size-fits-all kind of country. Most of the things here, most of it, is going to depend on your budget. It's going to depend on your wants and your needs. And of course, not everybody's budget is the same. Not everybody's wants and needs are the same. But Cambodia is a country that you can kind of tailor fit for whatever yours might happen to be. That's one thing I think a lot of people really like about it. I certainly do. So let me give you some examples of that. Things I can give you my opinion, but you should take as just that, just my opinion. And it's not necessarily right or wrong. That's going to depend on you. And the first thing is, where should I live? Apartments. Where can I find an apartment? Or even, where should I live in Cambodia? Those things kind of go together. Your residence, you know, where you want to set up shop. Your forever home kind of deal. And you can find apartments here very easily. You don't have to worry about that. I say that all the time. I try to tell people, sometimes people get stressed out about not knowing how to go about finding a place to stay. And I can tell you, you don't have to worry about that. That's one of the least of your worries, because they're literally everywhere. They have price ranges from $40 all the way up to, you know, $500, $600, $800 if you want. Again, depending on your budget, your wants, and your needs. But you can literally find an apartment within a few hours. You can take a tuk-tuk or just walk around. If you see an area you like and you see an apartment building, stop, go inside. Ask the first person you see, hey, is there a room available? And if there is, they'll go get the person with the key. They'll show it to you. They'll tell you how much it is. And if you like it, you give them the cash and you move in. Generally the same day. Sometimes they might take an extra day so they can clean it up for you, but still, it's very easy, very simple. No credit checks, no nothing like that. But when people ask me, Like, you know, I'm moving to Siem Reap, where should I live? I can't tell you that. Every area has its own different vibe, its own different feel. If you like things that are more busy, there are some areas you should consider. If you like them less busy, there are other areas you might want to consider. Do you want it to be more of a local flair? Mainly locals living there, or do you want something with more foreigners? All those things you have to consider. And likewise, which city you live in. Now, I know people who lived in Phnom Penh for 10 years or longer, and they absolutely love it in Phnom Penh. They love the hustle and bustle. They love that big city vibe. And that's great for them. But then I've known people who wanted to move to Phnom Penh, but after 2 months, they couldn't wait to get out of Phnom Penh. It was too busy. It was too loud. It was too crowded, or what have you, you know, for them. Because Phnom Penh is the capital, it's a big city, you know. Hey! So, again, your wants and your needs are going to dictate where you want to live. I've even known people who have come to Siem Reap for the smaller town vibe and still found Siem Reap to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more crowded, and a little bit more chaotic, I guess you can say, than they prefer, and they wind up moving to some place like Kep or Kampot, which is beautiful and nice and smaller. Has more of a rural vibe to it, you know. So that's all going to depend on what kind of lifestyle you want or you can afford. And I can give you reasons why I think Siem Reap is great, because I live here and I love it. But of course, again, it's not for everybody. And so yeah, if you want my opinions about any of that, I will gladly give them to you with that caveat. That what works for me might not work for you. Things that make Siem Reap for me a good place to live might be the things that drive you insane. You know? It's very individualized, is what I'm trying to say. And the same thing, since we're down here at the Sak Praum area, the same thing goes for food. People want recommendations for restaurants, and I can tell them where I like to eat. As a matter of fact, I had somebody, oh, I don't know if it was a guy, I had a person ask me, how much do I spend on average daily for food and drinks and everything? I never really thought about it, because I'm a night owl. I stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning sometimes. I don't get up to 10 or 11, so I don't do breakfast. I have 2 meals a day, 2 big meals, and then usually a snack or something in between. And yes, that snack is usually very spicy ramen noodles that I can get for $1/4 each, 25 cents each, because they are delicious and I love that spice. Not just because it's spicy, but because it's delicious spicy. And I can't get enough of the crying and my nose running. It's just so good. And that's a snack for me. That's not a meal, of course. But they asked me how much I spend. So I thought about it for a little bit. And I gave them my honest answer. Probably between $4 and $6 a day. That's how much I spend. Because I shop at places like this. I shop very local. And they messaged me back and said I was a liar. I was full of shit. Because, you know, the old standard. I was over there 5 years ago or whatever, and our cheapest meal was, when we were there, was like $7. So I know you can't live on that much a day. And I get so tired of that, because it's like, well, yeah, you were here on vacation. You're going to eat at the higher end places, the ones that are all nice and they got the nice plating and you get the ambience and atmosphere. And me, I'm down here. Yeah, this is my jam here. And the same thing you're paying $7 for at a fancy sit-down restaurant because you're on vacation and you're enjoying that, and you should. But that, you can get the same things down here for $1.50, $1.25. You're just not going to have the nice fancy ambiance to eat it in, you know? So yeah, I usually have, I mean, down here, man, I get noodles, I can get grilled chicken, I can get fish, I can get rice dishes of all kinds, all for like $1.25 to $1.50. And you get a big bowl, you get a container of rice with all your meals generally, and it's filling, it's delicious, it's fresh. I don't know what more you want, but or come down here and get a whole duck. Look at that, duck, whole duck. Sometimes if I'm just walking around and I want a little snack, get something like that. Meat on sticks, man, 25 cents each. And then usually I get like one Coca-Cola a day, right? That's 50 cents, 2,000 real. And I buy a couple packets of Nescafe coffee for 25 cents for both. And I already have sugar, so that's not an everyday thing, but even if I need some, I'll buy a bag for 50 cents, and that lasts me almost a whole week. So yeah, it's I eat twice, generally right here in this area. Sometimes things are a little more, sometimes they're a little bit less, but generally between $4 and $6. These places here are great because you get every single pot in here has a different dish, so your options are not limited to things. You could eat one of those at every meal for $1.25 with rice, and have something different every meal. But yeah, I only spend that much because this place here is where I eat, okay? And that's what they ask. They asked me how much I spend, and like I said, between $4 and $6 a day, depending. And when I say depending, it's because that is going to depend on, sometimes I wake up a little earlier, and I'm one of these guys, like, I don't like to get up early because I go to bed so late, but if I do, I'm awake, I can't go back to sleep, so then a breakfast might be in order. But generally I don't do breakfast, and I don't eat right when I get up. I usually get 10:30, let's say 10:30, and I don't get my first meal till like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because I'm just not hungry. For some reason, when I wake up, I'm not hungry. But it's yeah, again, it's one of those things, depending on yourself, your wants, your needs, your budget. Where are you going to eat? If you want my recommendations, you're going to get places like I just showed you. Because I'm not familiar with all the other restaurants, the fancier ones, the more high-end ones, because I don't eat there, so I can't speak on how they are or how much or anything like that. And of course, the next thing I, again, will give you an opinion on if you want. But listen to it or don't. It's completely up to you, is whether or not you should get a motorbike. That's a question more than a few people have had. Not the most popular, but once people get thinking about it, they cemented the fact that they're going to live here. That question should be something you might want to consider. Should you get a motorbike? What kind of motorbike? Where should you buy a motorbike? Should you rent a motorbike, or should you just buy a motorbike? Should you buy one at a lot, or should you buy one used off the marketplace? A lot of considerations. And I can give you my opinion on that. I think if you're going to be over here a very long time, longer than a year, you should probably buy. It'd be cheaper in the long run. And if you do go to a lot, you can usually get some kind of warranty for 3-4 months, sometimes 6 months, whatever. And they'll fix anything that goes wrong within that time, within reason, of course. But I've known people who have bought a motorbike and then sold the motorbike because they did not like, they never got used to driving in this. they never quite figured out how to drive and get around Cambodia on their own motorbike, you know, which is understandable. And then I've known people who bought one right out of the gate against my advice, right? I'll tell them, yeah, just get to know some people, borrow a friend, see which one you like, see, you know, how your balance is, see how you like getting around town. Maybe rent one for the first month and see if it's something you want to buy. But no, they come over here and they just say, nope, I just want one. They go out and they buy one right away against my advice, and yet it works out for them. So, hey, great. Whether you take my advice or not, if it works out for you, I am more than happy. Even if it's not something I would recommend. Because they're very happy and they've been riding ever since. Some people are just going to have a better feel for how driving in this crazy country can work, you know? And some people won't. And I am certainly like that. I prefer walking. Because when I'm walking, again, I've said this in many videos, you do have to pay attention. You do have to look all directions. Know, you know, be aware of your surroundings and everything. But on a motorbike, you have to like double that or maybe even triple that. You always have to be aware. And I like when I'm walking, I can let my mind wander. Even if I'm not recording, I think about different things, you know. I don't have to concentrate on the road or my driving or braking or accelerating or stopping for lights or yeah, whatever. All of a sudden you get busiest part of town, there's a herd of cows crossing the road, and I don't have to worry about that because I'm walking. So I'll just take a picture of them and be on my way. All right, but anyway, I hope that helps you guys out a little bit. As I said, I don't mind if you ask for my advice or my opinion about different things, but I'm telling you, so much of it is just something you'll find your groove for. And a lot of it's going to be through trial and error. But don't get upset. Eventually you'll fit right in there, man. Like peanut butter and jelly. As long as you have the right attitude, you'll be fine. All right. So check out all my links down below. And I got a lot of links for a lot of good stuff, so check them all out. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.